What's happening, Outrage crew? We on that daytime schedule. October 1st, 2019. How the fuck you doing out there? Oh, I figured we'd give a nice little daytime stream for the Americanos out there. And just for effect, I'm sipping an actual Americano right here, ladies and gentlemen. What's happening, Dirtweed? How you feeling out there? We had a good stream last night. We had we were on there talking to Dave Kranick. Oh, what up, Dave? What up, Trees? Oh, dude, we were getting into the thick of it, getting into the war stories and whatnot, and, I was looking through the news, and it's just annoyingly stagnant. It's stuck on the whistleblower horseshit. The whistleblow-hard nonsense. It's just stuck on this bullshit, attack that is just based on, Hunter Biden desperately needing his cocaine money. What up, Raw Dog? What up, Matthew Downs? Oh, we out here, man. We got in a little bit of Postmates, We're signed up for the Fourth Wall 10 o'clock mic tonight. And I figured I'd get on here a little late afternoon riffing here with the Outrage crew and have some goddamn fun, sip some coffee. I got one beer left over in there. We might get some more beers, for tonight or whatever. I might have some damn festivities planned for tonight, dude. You never know. Dirtweed says, walked a red carpet on Sunday in Niagara Falls. The NMA Awards. Well, what the hell is that? The NMA Awards? The Negro Magic Awards? Is that what Black Magicians? Is you were going to see the Black Magician Awards that nobody knows about? The secretive affair there? Oh my God, he went to go see the goddamn Negro Magic. That's very entertaining. Raw Dog says, what about that white chick cop in Texas being found guilty of that black man in his own home? I had heard about that. I remember hearing about that story. She responded to some kind of disturbance in the apartment complex. She went to the wrong apartment and then just killed a black dude in his apartment, I think was the story. I also saw where some black chick student had said that a bunch of people at her private Christian school there, a bunch of white individuals had held her down and tried to cut her dreadlocks off, and it was a big hate crime hoax, and they had to come out and apologize. Dave Kranick says, by the way, I'm out of the hospital. I made squirrel stew for dinner. It was quite tasty. I feel a little better. Dude, there you go. You don't need all those, fancy medications and all the, hardcore goddamn drug protocols. You just need a little squirrel stew. Get yourself stewed up and proteined up. Dirtweed says it's the Negro Malnutrition Association. Oh my God, you're over there, learning how to starve black people, by getting them addicted to sugar and getting them into the goddamn diabetes, dude. You diabolical, evil bastard, Dirtweed. I knew it. Oh, Raw Dog today was found guilty. She thought she lived in his apartment. Yeah, that bitch is insane. There's got to be some goddamn PCP involved there. I don't know what's going on with that bitch. Oh my God. She just went to the wrong apartment. It was unlocked, I guess, and she went in there, and then the dude came in. Let's see. And she was a cop. Let's see. White woman, cop, black man, guilty. Let's get the full story here. Let's get the full story. Let's check it out. Oh my God, we have to unblock the ads for, Jeff Bezos' Washington Post. He needs his revenue. Oh my God. He needs his revenue. Oh, what's up, Tim? I know Tim out there in Colorado. He's posting on the Discord. Apparently, he doesn't want to, chat in the YouTube chat. He doesn't want to reveal his full name there, in case the goddamn CIA is on to him and decides to whistleblow, for some of his bigoted comments in the chat. And it's fine, dude. It's fine. I don't know how you're supposed to change your YouTube username or whatever. Is it going to let me look at the goddamn article, dude? I blocked the ads, you fucking piece of shit. Pause on the site. All right. Amber Geiger, police officer who shot a man to death in his apartment, found guilty of murder. Oh my God. The former Dallas police officer who killed an unarmed black neighbor in his apartment was found guilty of murder on Tuesday, a rare conviction in a high-profile police shooting, and the verdict that civil rights advocates heralded as a victory for police accountability. Well, this wasn't even involved in police activity, I don't think. She just happened to be a cop. Amber Geiger said she thought she was entering her own unit one floor below when she encountered 26-year-old Botham Jean last year and mistook him for a burglar. Oh my God! Must have been because of his skin. No, I think she would have shot a white dude, just as dead, all right, because she was that retarded to think she was in her apartment complex when she was not, or in her apartment unit. Geiger, an off-duty police officer who had just finished a long shift, fired 2 shots at Jean, who had been watching TV and eating ice cream. Oh my God. You're sitting there enjoying a nice little pint and you catch them fucking hot ones, dude, right in your head. After a dramatic 7-day trial, the jury rejected Geiger's self-defense claim and delivered what Jean family attorneys called a historic decision. This is a huge victory, not only for the family of Botham Jean, but his mother told me a minute ago, this is a victory for black people in America, civil rights lawyer Lee Merritt said after the verdict was returned. It's a signal the tide is going to change here. Police officers are going to be held accountable for their actions, and we believe that this will change policing culture all over the world. This isn't a racial thing at all, dude. This isn't some, standoff where, a black guy was, committing crimes and then didn't put his gun down or didn't resist and was putting his hands in his pockets or did resist arrest. There was none of that. There was nothing typical of, the high-profile police encounters with black people. All it was is this retarded bitch thought she was in her apartment and she wasn't. And she just went to the goddamn wrong apartment. How dumb can you be, dude? Oh, but the civil rights lawyer, Lee Merritt, oh my God, the triumph for black people, and, got to make it racial somehow. Whatever race the individual was in there, enjoying their goddamn ice cream and watching TV, they probably would have been shot dead. All right? I don't think there's much of a racial element there at all. The dude just happened to be black. What a dumb cunt. Oh, what up, Archer? Matthew Down says the NMA is the National Mansplaining Awards hosted by feminists. Oh, my God. We're going to make them tear their hair out, and make them complain they're not getting paid the same, Well, there you go. A female police officer, all right. Probably should have been paid far less than her counterparts. The bitch was not aware of her surroundings. All right, she was not, she did not have the genetic imperative to be aware of her surroundings like the hunter, men of ancestries past. The women are just, sitting around and blissfully, gathering berries in the village and everything. And the men have to be out there and worried about getting killed by goddamn big cats and bears and goddamn, wild hogs and whatnot. They're going to be aware of their surroundings, dude. They know which apartment is theirs. How do you go into your apartment and you don't recognize any of your possessions? Oh, this motherfucker is such a confident burglar. He broke in, hung up pictures of his family, changed all the, the furniture and the electronics, and then he was having such a good time rearranging the entire apartment and making it look totally different that he decided to kick back and have some ice cream. What a dumb bitch. Raw Dog says she was drunk, but they didn't do a toxicology. Dude. She literally tried to plead self-defense. Now that's like the racial element of it, is like to try and claim that it's self-defense, like, because, oh my God, when I broke into this black man's apartment with my gun, he gave me a threatening look, and I felt scared for my life, and when I'm breaking and entering, I don't like having, shocked looks thrown my way. It was a very threatening black man look. I was intimidated. All I could do was shoot him dead. Oh, fuck. Dave Critic, no, I probably won't stream later tonight. We're probably just doing this afternoon hitter. Yeah, Raw Dog says, moral of the story, lock your doors. You goddamn right. You goddamn right. Matthew Down says, download Unblock Origin to your Chrome. Is that a super special ad blocker? I have AdBlock Plus, I think. It does get caught up in the USA Today and the Washington Post propaganda webs there, and they forced me to look at their ads. Archer was triggered by my use of the word cunt. And it is very triggering when, American people say the word cunt. There's something about, the American accent paired with the word cunt. It's exceptionally harsh to Archer's virgin ears there, even though he does, tolerate the gunshot sounds, all right, when he's blasting off at the gun range, Cunt can be a little jarring, but it is better. It is better if you say cunt in an Irish accent. When you throw it in the Irish lilt there, when you call a woman a cunt in an Irish accent, or when you call one of your friends a cunt, oh, you're a good cunt. You're a cheeky cunt, mate. You're a cheeky cunt. You're a right good cunt. He's a right good cunt. I've never met a better cunt in my life. Oh, he's a majestic cunt. He just floats around on the planet and, he's kind of whimsical. He's kind of a whimsical cunt. He just floats in and says cunty things and then floats back out of the room, and it's almost like he wasn't even there to begin with. Sounds way better in the Irish accent, dude. If you've ever seen that movie In Bruges, if you haven't seen that movie, you should see it. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Definitely my top 5. Oh, you're a smelly cunt, aren't you? You're a right nasty cunt, aren't you? Just take a goddamn bath and scrub your jimmies now, won't you? Won't you, please? Oh, scrub those jimmies. If you've seen the movie In Bruges, there's a scene where Brendan Gleeson and Ralph Fiennes they're both hitmen, and they're like sitting in a courtyard, both realizing that they're getting ready to try to kill each other. But it's like this crowded courtyard in this town in Belgium called Bruges. And it's a beautiful little town. It's like a fairy tale when you're in the town of Bruges. And they're sitting there talking, and they both have these thick-ass Irish accents. And he's talking to Brendan Gleeson's talking to Ralph Fiennes, and he's like, what are you worried about? Dying. I mean, your whole life you've had it coming to you. You've always been a cunt. You're always going to be a cunt. You're a cunt. What are you going to do with a lot more life? What are you going to live? Live a few more years? Have a few more cunt kids? And Ralph Fiennes is like, you take back that bit about my cunt kids. Leave my kids out of it. He's like, I retract that bit about your cunt kids, but you are a cunt. What up, Skeezer? Skeezer's trying to chill with his family. Well, apparently not, because he's tuning into the Outrage Chancellor. Put me up on the big screen, dude. I can chill with your family. All right. If you don't want to hear their conversation, you can let the Outrage Chancellor lead the discussion here. We're talking about dumbass white women that, don't know what, apartment number they live in. And that gets made into some big civil rights issue because the guy she killed was a black dude. And it's kind of retarded. I mean, there's never any discussion of, the police brutality, situation. There's never any discussion on the other side of the issue of like, well, are we going to address the overwhelmingly, criminal aspects of the black culture? We're going to address that at all? They're committing like overwhelmingly the most amount of violent crimes of anybody. And so, of course, the police are goddamn paranoid around them. And I don't support the police. I'm a goddamn anarchist. All right. But it's an impossible job, especially when you're given a patrol in a goddamn high violent or a high crime area. And you're going to be called racist if you make any goddamn mistakes and plastered all over the news, dude. It's an impossible situation. But it's like, the racist cops are hunting the police. And it's like, no, the majority of people hunting black people are other black people in rival gangs. In those neighborhoods, probably the safest place you could be is at the goddamn police station. Statistically, it's like 3% of black homicide, or like 0.3% of black homicides come from police interaction. It's like 99% of them come from other black people. Statistically, you might want to hang out down at the precinct. You going out to the club tonight, man? Nah, that's too dangerous for me, man. I'm kicking it at the precinct. And they can do a nice little community outreach program there, and they could, play hip hop music at the police station after 9:00. And we could get some thick women in there booty shaking, serve up some goddamn Hennessy. Get some bottles popping at the precinct, dude. Skeezer says, I'm trying to dodge Don Morgan. What, dude? Don Morgan is the most pathetic individual. When he has no arguments, but he just repeatedly shotguns the same horseshit talking points over and over and over and fills up the chat with his goddamn spam trolling. And I just body slam him over and over with, facts and reason and evidence. And the reason I stopped talking to Don Morgan for the most part is he doesn't adjust his arguments once he's proven wrong. Like, I've proven him wrong on the statistics thing over and over and over about how, white criminality and black criminality on a per capita basis. And he's like, well, white people commit more crimes. I'm like, you idiot. There's more white people in the country. So overall, in totality, yeah, but not per capita, which is all that matters when you're talking about statistics and demographics. And he doesn't get that point. I've repeatedly debunked the redistributionary aspect of Bernie Sanders' horseshit. But he's a credit card scammer and he enjoys thieving. All right. And, he doesn't, but he claims to be empathetic as he's ripping you off, and talking shit about Dave Kranick when he's on the phone, and making, tasteless ass jokes about individuals who have cancer. He's just a worthless troll piece of shit that doesn't want to adjust any of his positions, even when he's explicitly proven wrong over and over and over. And he's proved to me that Trump cut taxes and blah, blah, blah. It's like something new and retarded every time, and I just have to body slam him over and over, and he gets repetitive for the Outrage crew because we're like, this guy's just so dumb he's not even worth addressing. What up, Bad Cat Bitcoin? Bad Cat Bitcoin is always with the shameless self-promotion. Um, you know, he's very enthusiastic. He thinks that you're going to get rich by looking at his Bitcoin channel, which, I don't get what he could explain to you about Bitcoin other than buy Bitcoin. It's pretty simple, dude. It's a deflationary currency. It's not, you can't create more of it. And there's not, a bunch of Jews in a room that are pulling all the levers and inflating the goddamn monetary supply like the Federal Reserve and the Federal Reserve notes there and the United States currency. Pretty simple. Can't be created, so it shall be deflationary over time. Matthew Down says you can't possibly debunk the redistribution of Bernie's horseshit. That stuff is indeed an endless fount. Well, it just has to do with ethics. You have to make the moral argument that theft is immoral. Otherwise, you're going to get bogged down in the practicalities. And even in the practicality argument of there's endless historical examples of socialism, ending up in starvation and genocide and economic collapse and, the tyrants ruling over everybody else while everybody, most of the population starves and stands in lines for, shitty government bread and porridge. But they're always like, well, show me where a purely free libertarian society has worked. And it's like, no, all you have to do is point to the smallest government in human history that happened right prior to the Industrial Revolution that we're all still enjoying the benefits of right now, 200 years later. Seems like it worked out pretty good, dude. When you have a small government and we're still pushing through, even though the government has grown and become bloated and out of control, we have this big military industrial complex that wants to go over and, manipulate and get nerdy and get, gay with all these other countries. And try to, control their regimes and put people in power and topple, the dictators. And, oh, my God, we're going to control it all and institute democracy over there. And they're going to be just like us. And we're going to profit all along the way with our goddamn big military companies. We're going to get in there and make it happen. And it never works, dude. All you end up doing is bankrupting your own goddamn country, as evidenced by the Roman Empire, where we have many parallels to the fall of the Roman Empire going on right now. We're debasing the shit out of our currency. All right. We're inflating it into oblivion. All right. We have our borders threatened by barbarians. All right. And we're very spread out militarily. All right. We're way over leveraged in the economy. We have way too much goddamn debt. We have multiple bubbles going on in multiple different sectors of the economy. The student loan bubble, the housing crisis is going to rebound again because the banks are still doing the same shit they were doing before the first crisis. And the Federal Reserve is manipulating the interest rates, and oh my God, they've got it figured out. Don't worry, they're scheming and scamming. Ooh, they're going to figure it out. They got the high IQs up in the top, dude. It doesn't matter. And Trump is kind of pissing me off because, he's just falling into this same pattern of, other Republican presidents of the past, even though he's a legitimate outsider and he's against the deep state and he's preventing the cultural Marxist agenda coming in. He's not doing a hell of a lot better in preventing an upcoming economic collapse because he's not cutting spending at all. Spending has gone up under Trump. And he's like, oh, we're spending it on, all these good things. I don't give a fuck. Oh, we're rebuilding our military. I don't give a fuck. Bring the military home. The military budget needs to be drastically cut. We have over $700 billion military budget. For what? Nobody's invading America, dude. We have 2 giant oceans to the east and west, 2 allied countries to the north and south, dude. We don't need a $700 billion military budget. It's all these defense contractors defense, the Department of Defense, the Department of Imperialism. It's all this horse shit that gets made excuses for it. Oh my God, don't you support the troops? And don't you want to, go over and imperialistically control the rest of the planet? It's like, no! I don't! I don't want the economy to collapse, dude. We're not getting invaded by anybody. What up, Burgess? Oh my God, are you guys debating the stopping power of different types of, ammunition? Burgess says, what is this stream doing on? It's competing with other streams. Am I competing with other streams? Fuck the other streams. What up, G Prime? I know Owen Benjamin and Joe Rogan, they stream kind of generally early in the day for West Coast time. Between like 10 a.m. and like 1 p.m. or whatever. I don't know of any live streams that are, competing in this time slot. We're basically in that prime time. Raw Dog says, Nick, gas is a motherfucker here in Cali. What'd you pay? Like, what do I pay a month for gas? Not that bad at all, dude. My gas bill is never that high. Speaking of, I'm going to turn this off because I was heating up the apartment. It's pretty steamy in here. Now that I got this coffee in me a little bit. I got the rest of this coffee and then I got one beer. And we'll rock it that way. But the news has been annoyingly slow and Drudge is totally cucked now. I don't know what's happened to Drudge Report, but now it's like all this dramatic insinuation about how Trump is probably guilty and, oh my God, Trump's rhetoric, it's getting darker. He sounds like MSNBC now. And he just links to these mainstream media articles and it's like gives no commentary or context for them, like Dems vow obstruction charges. Rules say Senate must act, but its act might be a swift dismissal. Whistleblower protections tested. Oh my God, will the whistleblower be tested? You're not a whistleblower if what you report is totally factually inaccurate. Julian Assange is a whistleblower. He has a perfect record of journalistic and whistleblowing integrity. Well, he's not the whistleblower himself. He publishes the whistleblower, but they verify the shit before they post it. This guy is just a propagandist that, another anonymous source that leaked this shit out to the media, and then it goes and they run with the narrative. And it's like, no, Trump didn't offer any favors in return. He just said, hey, you might want to look at Joe Biden obviously committing crimes in your country and then bragging on YouTube that he did it, to try to get his son some goddamn cocaine money and keep the cocaine money coming in, dude. The fuck? Hunter Biden needs his cocaine money, and so we got to keep that $50,000 a month coming in. We don't know why he's getting paid $50,000 a month on the board of an energy bill when he doesn't even speak the language of Ukraine, or he doesn't know anything about energy or have any experience in the field. But oh my God, Joe Biden, he's handling the foreign relations with Ukraine under the Obama administration. Oh my God, what a coincidence that his son is on the board of a major energy company that happens to be corrupt in Ukraine. Oh my God, how dare Trump point out Joe Biden's crimes, that treasonous bastard. Trump, you can't point out Democrat crimes, all right? We already tried to tell you this, all right, in the campaign with Hillary Clinton. It was very evil for you to point out, that the DNC, fucked Bernie over and destroyed evidence in an investigation into their servers. And, they made up the whole Russian hack to cover up the fact that Seth Rich was murdered. And he was actually the DNC source that leaked the documents to WikiLeaks and everything. Oh, it's very evil for you to point that out, But Julian Assange is the one that's going to jail, and this whistleblower, the cocksucker, this whistleblow-hard, he gets anointed as like, oh my God, he should be protected. Oh, are we going to protect the whistleblower? Oh my God. We must protect him. The president's going after him. The president is attacking. Oh, he fears for his safety. It's so retarded. There was nothing true about anything he reported. He just made up this total nonsense narrative about how Trump was offering favors in favor of, digging up dirt on Biden. There was no dirt to be dug up, dude. The dirt was right on YouTube. When Biden's like, well, bragging about it, I said they got 6 hours to fire that prosecutor. I said, go ahead, punk. Make my day. You're going to fire that prosecutor and I'm going to sniff his daughter's neck. Anybody else got a daughter here in the meantime? I need some shoulders to rub. I need a neck to sniff. I need some little titties to fondle. Sleepy, creepy Joe Biden Eastwood. He just needs some titties. Criminal! But don't point out the fact that he's a criminal, dude. Otherwise, Drudge will insinuate that, oh my God, the evil Donald Trump presidency, he's gone too far. And it's like, yeah, Trump has not gone far enough, dude. He needs to cut spending. He needs to call out the deep state crimes even more. Cut the departments. If you're so worried about the deep state sneaks and they're getting in there, and oh my God, the anonymous sources and the deep state holdovers from the Obama administration and the intelligence communities, shit can them. What can they do? You're the fucking commander-in-chief. You fired Jim Comey, nothing happened. The FBI is goddamn, if they're insubordinate, shit can the entire FBI. Do we need an FBI? I don't think so. I think they're causing a lot more problems than they are helping anybody. Shit can the FBI, shit can the CIA, shit can the IRS, and cancel the income tax, dude. You're fired guy. That's what we want you to do. Shit can them all. What up, Scott Peters? Oh my God, you guys are still debating firearms, you gun nerds. Just get something that goes pow. All right, it's not that complicated, says the totally inexperienced individual from Oklahoma with any firearms, says the video game playing nerd. All right, I didn't debate this much, when I was choosing my guns on Call of Duty 4. You just get something with a nice iron sight on it, or you get a red dot, or you get the shotgun. All right. I don't know, dude. It's just infuriating how slow the news cycle moves with this, horseshit claim that has no basis to it. But oh my God, the next month of news is going to be the impeachment proceedings. Oh, marching on. For what? I do think it's eventually just going to backfire on Biden, and he's going to have to drop out, or he's definitely not making the nomination. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know if Trump has polls better against Biden or Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren is probably it's her corruption and her problems. First of all, her ideas are going to be not that popular. She has that whole wealth tax thing. She wants the government to all these extra taxes on super wealthy people. That can go over well with the idiocracy, dumbed down lower classes of people that are resentful of rich people. But then she wants the government to have this extended she wants the government to get into daycare. I think, like, for the first 4 years of life or whatever, the government's going to take care of your toddler. Oh, yes. Just let us get our nice little demonic fingers on your child. Go out and work and be nice little tax cattle and just leave your child with us. We'll imbue them with the correct values now. We shall endow them with the correct values. Oh, yes. Oh, Dirtweed's multi-accounting here. That's beautiful. Tree says even if he's impeached, he'll never be convicted. He's not going to get impeached. It's just this big political horseshit theater show. I mean, the Senate is never going to impeach him over this nonsense. It's just, how much does the blowback, it's just going to be another failed attempt by the left to try to take out Trump. And then it's going to be another, win talking point for him during the campaign. And they've just overstepped again, dude. They've stepped on the rake in trying to, charge after Trump. And the rake is laying there and ding, right in their face again. Oh, fuck. It's hilarious. But yeah, Elizabeth Warren still has it's more obvious to the voters her problems with her campaign. Like with Biden, you have to, I don't know. Biden has the video footage on YouTube fondling the little girls. Trump's definitely going to wheel that out if he gets in a debate with Biden. Just like the Bill Clinton rape accusers, he's going to bring out the little girls from YouTube. These are little girls that Joe Biden has fondled on YouTube. We're going to play the video behind me. Now, Sally, please tell the American people what sleepy, creepy Joe Biden did to you. And then she's going to be, explaining it. And then Joe Biden's going to fall asleep and not remember what happened in the middle of the debate. And so I don't think that would be challenging for Trump, even if Biden gets there. But Elizabeth Warren, it's pretty obvious. I mean, that Native American shit is not going anywhere. It's the first thing anybody brings up when you bring up Elizabeth Warren. Oh, Pocahontas? It's like, that's not going anywhere, dude. And they don't really even want to impeach Trump. That's what Burgess is dead on the money. Because they know what that means. They know how tyrannical of a move that would be. They know how infuriated the Trump base would be. They know that that would not sit well. They don't want to take it there. They just think they do. They want to make a political stunt and be like, oh, we tried, to take out the tyrant Trump. But it's like, it's really about keeping Trump on the defense. That's what this whole first term has been about. It's been about keeping his administration on their back foot, keeping them playing defense. And the left has done a good job of that. Even the machine gun turret, rapid fire nonsense horseshit constantly at him with the Russia investigation and, all the, oh my God, we're digging up some dirt on him. And, every other day he's, we're calling him a racist. And something he said is, he's putting children in cages. And oh my God, he hates Puerto Rico, and he just wants to see them hit by another hurricane so desperately. And now oh my God, he created Joe Biden's crimes. He's the one who made Joe Biden do those crimes, and then he twisted the Ukrainian leader's arm behind his back over the phone and said, "You better make up some crimes that Joe Biden didn't really commit." Ugh. And so, no matter how hysterical and retarded their attacks are, at least they're keeping Trump on the back foot, defending himself. And so, therefore, he's not going forward with his agenda. He's not playing offense. And therefore, we don't have a wall yet. We barely got tax cuts through. There's been no spending cuts, no reduction of entitlements, and it's just a big shit show. It's a big government shit show, dude. Trump has no principles in reducing the size of government. He's not a principled libertarian, you know. He's just a negotiating, shit-talking reality TV star, you know, rose comic president. And so we're not getting anything legitimately pushed through on offense. And hopefully it doesn't result in a goddamn economic collapse, dude. Because that would be the worst thing. That would be the worst thing. That could undermine everything good that's happened. If before the election there's another economic crisis, and they can blame it on Trump and what he represents, and like, oh, he's the capitalist guy, and so, oh, we elected a crazy, capitalist like Trump, and what do you know, the economy crashed. Wah, wah. And then they use that as the message to get a psycho-socialist in there. That would be the worst case scenario. And the only way out of this, to soften the blow of the coming economic crisis, because it is coming, we're going to have some form of currency crisis or, another bubble pop. It's going to happen because we're so over leveraged and so indebted, and so inefficient with how big the government is right now and how much control the government has over the economy. It's inevitable that it's going to happen. But the only way the landing is going to be softened is if we, free up the economy and reduce the size of government and grow our way out of it. There has to be a natural growth through the middle class, through small business, through entrepreneurship. People have to be able to keep more of their own money and step around the bureaucratic horseshit that's in people's way, all the regulations and the licensing and all the stamps and red tape. Just to start a goddamn business and get it off the ground, you got to get that shit out of people's way, and so we can start producing things and creating things again in this country and actually have a real foundation to the economy. That's the only way that we're going to, become an economic superpower again like we were in the Industrial Revolution. But you have to cut the government. And it takes a motherfucker with real brass balls to get in there and cut government departments and put people out of jobs. But that's what has to happen. You fucked up by getting your cushy little bullshit government job where you don't do anything efficient or effective or valuable to society. Go fuck yourself. You're useless. Get used to it. Get in line at the unemployment line, dude. Go fuck yourself. I gotta get a little more water here. Oh my God, we're still talking about guns and goddamn ammunition. I guess that's fine, dude. It is a slow news day. I guess it is a slow news day, dude. And I just put water in my cup, and the water got thrown out of the cup, and it's fine. Oh my God. New York Times reporting Trump suggested shooting illegal immigrants in the legs. I did see that. Let's see, where was it? Shoot them in the legs, Trump suggested, inside his border war. Oh my God. This is a The Hill article.
President Trump suggested having migrants shot in their legs during a March meeting with White House advisors in the Oval Office, according to the New York Times on Tuesday.
Well, how benevolent of him. Just pop them in the legs and make them dance a little bit. If they're trying to come in here and break the goddamn law, don't pop them in the head. Just make them dance a little,
Times report is based on interviews with more than a dozen White House administration officials.
So it's hearsay again. Yes, he just said shoot them in the legs and blow off their legs, and if you don't shoot the legs off, you hack them off, and all these anonymous horseshit sources from the demon snakes. The anonymous sources. Notice, I guarantee they are not going to report who said it. Oh, we just have our little weasels in there who are pretending to cozy up to Trump, and then we're ratting him out to the propaganda rag in the New York Times.
Involved in the events of the week of the meeting. The article is adapted from a forthcoming book titled Border Wars, Inside Trump's Assault on Immigration, that will be published on October 8th. The aides told the Times that...
Trump's assault on immigration. It's not an assault upon the laws of the United States to, illegally cross the border and come in and succubus onto our fucking welfare state and bankrupt our country. No, that's not an assault. That's not an invasion. What Trump is doing by enforcing the laws, that's an assault on the poor little migrants. And I'm going to write a whole propaganda book about it. The poor migrants. They're just trying to commit federal crimes, and, they're just trying to bring their children along for the federal crimes, and, why are you blaming them? Just let them rob the bank with their children. Just let them rob the middle class blind as you pay for their goddamn welfare checks, dude. Don't assault them by not giving them your wallet. It's an assault to not give up your wallet. You're struggling back and forth with the illegal immigrant for the wallet, and and the New York Times is like, stop assaulting that migrant. All right, let go of the wallet. You privileged white fuck. You don't deserve that money. That's an assault. Pay his bills. All right? He wants free health care. Don't assault him. Fuck, dude. Once again, another, this is journalism. Some anonymous person, some White House administration officials, oh my God, the aides told the Times that Trump suggested. Some hearsay of these little criminal demon sneaks, around the White House, just glomming onto anybody, who's actually trying to get anything good done for the country, and just undermining it every step, and see if we can fuck him up and trip him up, and throw a stick in his spokes when he's trying to ride a bike and get Western civilization kickstarted again. Just throw a stick in the spokes and then blame it on him and go run and snitch to the New York Times. Like, who the fuck are these little cucks, dude? God damn it. This is what happens when bureaucracy gets too bloated, and you let these little weasel cucks worm their way in to the machinations of the bureaucracy of government, and that's what you get. Dave Krennic says AOC has an IRS warrant out right now for failing to pay taxes on her failed children's book publishing company. Well, the socialist tyrants, they don't have to pay their taxes. They just take your money. All right? It's a one-way street, and don't be a bigot. Don't be a misogynist bigot, all right, who, assaults a Mexican woman, all right, with your slanderous, white male language there. Don't assault people by pointing out their crimes. All right? Just like what Trump did to Joe Biden, to the Ukrainian leader. Don't assault him. You're assaulting Hunter Biden and his cocaine habit. All right? He's a victim. Oh, they're just making shit up, dude. Officials who spoke to the Times also recalled that Trump often suggested fortifying the border wall with a water-filled trench stocked with snakes or alligators. Oh, Trump also, quote, wanted the wall electrified with spikes on top that could pierce human flesh. Oh my God, they're just making up this fan fiction. When advisors told Trump some of his suggestions were illegal, oh my God, they're so responsible and dignified. Oh my God, this evil tyrant, he wants alligators in a moat. Oh my God, he wants to see the migrants eaten by alligators. When advisors told Trump some of his suggestions were illegal, he reportedly became frustrated. Oh, he's just an evil, bigot dumbass. He said, quote, "You are making me look like an idiot," Trump shouted, according to the Times, citing multiple officials in the room. "I ran on this. It's my issue." Oh my God, he's just a 13-year-old girl, dude. According to the anonymous aides reported to the Times in the White House. Oh my God, how reliable. A White House spokesperson was not immediately available for comment. I bet they weren't. More hearsay, fake-ass journalism, dude. That's all they can do is make up little fake-ass stories that, you know, play out in their imagination and say, oh my God, it really happened, believe us. We know we've already told you 552 different lies about things that Trump has done, and they turned out not to be true at all, but this one is verified anonymously. But that's hilarious, dude. Oh my God, he wanted a spiked wall with alligators. And let freaking laser beams on the heads of the alligators. And I want little miniature Donald Trump robot assassins on top of the wall. Because I cannot trust any of the agents to, you know, properly identify the enemies there. I need target lock on robot machine gun turrets that look like me. All right, with laser eye vision, targeting systems. That is the only thing that can be relied upon. And I also want the alligators. I also want great white sharks. And we're going to need to train falcons and eagles, all right, to attack from the air. All right, we need drone robot falcons and eagles. Dude. So goddamn gangster. How about just bring the goddamn military home and send them to the border? That's how you actually have a defense department, is defend the fucking country. Robert Rydell, what up, buddy? He says, under National Socialism, the individual human man pays zero taxes. That's not socialism. If there's a government, you pay taxes. Otherwise, the government doesn't exist. That's what a government is. They exist based on the taxes they extract from you. So don't tell me there's a government without individuals paying taxes. Who funds the government then? That's not a government if nobody pays taxes, dude. Oh my God, the gun discussion is mind-numbingly boring. What the hell are you guys talking about? Oh my God, the 223 and the 556. The rounds, oh my God, the 556 actually has more pressure and The M16 basically is an AR-15, and it's like the Beretta 92 FS, and oh my God. Who gives a goddamn? Water-filled trench stocked with snakes and alligators, dude. Oh, fuck, man. Dude. Can you imagine the leftist triggering if we had a water-filled trench with alligators and goddamn anaconda snakes in it? Dude! That's what we need. That's what we need for Western civilization, along with bringing the troops home. And then we fund, arm, and train the alligators. All right, I'm tired of us funding, arming, and training ISIS and these pretend rebels over in the military countries. We got to fund, arm, and train the alligators and the crocodiles, dude. They need our training. They need our funding, dude. Robert Riddle says the corporations pay taxes, not living, breathing human beings. Well, what are corporations, Robert Riddle? Corporations are companies who work with government. Both of those things are institutions that are made up of individual human beings. The hell are you talking about? If the government exists, it collects taxes. If it takes money from a company, that's taking money out of individuals who work in the company's pocket. You can't avoid stealing people's money if a government exists. It's the principle. You're making it way too complicated, dude. Taxation is theft. Tree says, have you heard about the meth alligators in Florida? No, I have not. Oh my God. Those hopped up alligators out there. Are they slimming down for photo shoots? Oh my God. Meth gators. Here it is in Tennessee. Oh my God, NBC News wants me to block remove my ad blocker. Fucking cucks. Alright, meth gators. Tennessee police warn flushing drugs could create hyper-aggressive alligators. That is hilarious, dude. Oh my God, there's so many people flushing their goddamn meth. It must be, not the best drug experience there if you're flushing your meth down in these amount of amounts. All right, to get down to the alligators here. A police department in Laredo, Tennessee, is asking residents to refrain from flushing drugs such as methamphetamine down the toilet to prevent meth gators, or they could just balance it out and flush equal amounts of heroin down the toilet, and then you'd have the upper and the downer, and you balance out the gators. In a Facebook post, the Laredo Police Department wrote that on Saturday, officers executed a search warrant in a home and discovered an occupant trying to flush meth and drug paraphernalia down his toilet. Although the suspect was unsuccessful, the officers used the incident to remind residents of the harm drugs can cause to the environment. Folks, please don't flush your drugs. Okay. Oh my God, they actually wrote that in the Facebook post, I think. Our sewer guys take great pride in releasing water that is cleaner than what is in the creek, but they are not really prepared for meth. Ducks, geese, and other fowl frequent our treatment ponds, and we shudder to think what one all hyped up on meth would do. Dude. Them hyped up geese and ducks, I don't know, they're just going to be flying extra fervently. The Post warns that the meth could make its way into Shoal Creek down the Tennessee River in North Alabama and into the bodies of alligators. Oh my God. Have you ever been chased by a meth gator? Dude. Yeah. Alligator biologist said he's never once heard of an alligator on meth. They don't generally get into it, you know. Alligators more seem like they're kind of into weed. You know, they seem pretty, you know, chilled out, and they just lay in wait for their prey to come in and, you know, step into the goddamn trap. Alligators seem like they're, you know, they seem like they're stoned. They seem like they're on that weed, dude. That seems to be the alligator drug of choice. Dave Krennic says, Nick, if you read the discussion, you would learn something about guns, meaning it would help you with hunting if you know the tools you're going to use to kill. Well, once you get into the goddamn calibers of bullets and the different types of guns and which one you prefer, it's like, dude, I don't give a goddamn. Like, if I'm going to learn something about guns and using them, it's going to have to be using the guns and using them in you know, at the range and whatever with an individual who knows what the fuck they're talking about, and then I'll figure out how to use the guns. What's up, Israel attacked USS Liberty and did 9/11. Says Americans would rather blame their own country than the actual culprits. And I assume you mean the Jews when you say the actual culprits. All right, but the culprit is big government. The culprit is not cutting the government. All right, the culprit is this, you know, forcible debt system that's, you know, pervade upon us. All right, and yes, Jews occupy positions of power absolutely disproportionate to their, you know, position in the demographics there on a percentage basis. All right, but regardless of that, the positions of power should not exist for the high IQ, amoral individuals to worm their way into them. All right, and if the positions of power did not exist, we wouldn't have to worry about what the Jews are doing. If there wasn't a government that forced association among individuals through taxes, you wouldn't have to hang out with Jews if you didn't like Jews. But now there's all these positions of power over you in which you have to fund or else you go into a rape cage. And so now you got to worry about the Jews. And so the fundamental problem is not the Jews. It's the forced association mechanism called taxation and the government. Dave Krennic says, don't make me laugh. It causes my kidneys to hurt. Sorry about that, sir. Let's get into a technical discussion of the ammunition and the size of the bullets here, and you know the difference between an M4 and a M16. Let's get into the particulars. Fuck. Burgess says, I'm in Florida. The alligators are not pissed off more than usual. Dude, I mean, you know, they're probably getting a balance of heroin and cocaine flushed down the toilet. They're probably getting that nice little narcotic balance there. They're probably getting evened out, you know? The Outrage Chancellor has to take a piss here. All right. And I shall return. If it would load the goddamn SoundCloud. Here we go.
Those guys, it's the fucking bankers, the politicians, they're the ones that want to make fucking people. So let's make the fucking money, let's make the fucking votes. It's funny, they're bad guys.
off here. He says, Jewish bankers own all the politicians. Over 90 dual Israelis in Congress. Well, the politicians would have no power if we didn't let them forcibly extract our tax money. Now, would they? Those positions wouldn't exist if we didn't allow a government to exist, would they? Israel says they lie and steal from non-Jews religiously. They use non-Jews to die in their wars religiously. Oh my God. Talmud commands Jews to take over all of their cultures and governments. Jewish extremists take it seriously. Yeah, they have extreme in-group preference and their religion's very weird, dude. They still would have no power if the positions of power which they occupy did not exist. And if we argue passionately against the government and don't get caught up in this demographic demonization horseshit that makes you look like a knuckle-dragging racist moron, and I'm not saying you are, because there's hints of truth to what you're saying. And it's true in a general aspect. All right, but in terms of spreading the message and actually getting something productive done to mitigate it, saying, oh my God, it's the Jews' fault, doesn't help the cause. It makes you look like a moron when you blame demographics for ideological problems and moral problems called the existence of the government and taxation. So you're not doing yourself any favors with this demographic demonization. Israel said, so you agree it's the problem, but it's our fault for letting it happen? Okay, no. I'm not saying Jews are the problem. I'm saying Jews take advantage of the opportunities afforded them in this amoral system because they happen to be very high IQ and very sneaky. And then he just calls me an idiot with no rationalization, no argument whatsoever, because his argument has been thoroughly debunked and he's been exposed as, not helping defend Western civilization and setting us back. Because he wants to demonize demographics instead of actually address the problem. My solution actually fixes the problem, Israel. If we get rid of the positions of power, drastically reduce the size of government, they would have much less control over us. Even just the Jews that you're talking about. I'm talking about the general people in power. What's your solution? Kill all the Jews? You're an idiot. There's nothing moral or inspiring about that, dude. You're just making yourself look like a retard. Israel attacked USS Liberty and did 9/11, says Trump blamed Israel for war with Palestine before he became president, then won. And you've already brought up the same talking point. It means absolutely goddamn nothing, dude. The president shouldn't exist. The position shouldn't exist, dude. I'm an anarchist. What do you not get out of this? I'm not up here sucking Trump's dick because he's the president. Trump has really just pissed me off a lot for not cutting government. And he's leading us straight into an economic collapse that's going to be blamed on capitalism. I'm not up here saying, oh my God, he's perfect and, he's better than Hillary Clinton. Oh my God, you can make, You can make all these connections between Trump and the Jews, and he's Jewish controlled. You're letting the Jews cuck you out by being so obsessed with them. Why do you give a fuck about them so much? They just got short dicks and high IQs, and they're trying to get a bunch of pussy. And they're trying to get a bunch of power so they can get that pussy. Pretty simple equation, dude. They're pretty predictable. There's nothing mystifying about the Jews. They're just doing what they can to maximize their, their sexual market value. And they have to acquire a lot of money and power in order to do that because they're generally not that attractive. They're generally very short with short dicks. It's not complicated, dude. My solution actually works. We reduce the size of the government. They have no control over you. And you don't have to hang out with Jews if you don't like Jews. All the Jews I've met out here in Hollywood have been, pretty goddamn enjoyable to be around. They're just funny and goofy. And helpful in a business sense. What up, Winter Storm? All Israel has is complaints about demographics and demonization of demographics. He doesn't have any solutions or anything. He says, "Oh, Jews bad. Ugh, admit that Jews are bad." Ugh. It's like, go fuck yourself. That's not an argument or a point to be taken seriously. And I get you're probably just a troll on here to get me to react, and it's fine. You think you're edgy because, oh my God, I'm making all these connections of the evil things happening in society and the Jews, and it's all the Jews. It's a secret cabal of the conspiracy of the Jews. You're just being cucked out by the Jews because you're sitting around thinking about them all day. Instead of focusing on the real problem, which is you're getting your tax money stolen every year. Israel attacked USS Liberty. It says you had no thoughts on Trump's hypocrisy. You just continue to fluff his cock like a good Shabos. That's not what I did at all. Which you just proved yourself as a troll. I just said the presidency shouldn't exist. Those positions of power should not exist, and the Jews wouldn't have any control over you if they did not exist, which is the world I want to live in. In a free market, you don't have to hang out with Jews if you don't like Jews. You dumbass. What up, Blob City? Ooh, the vape got entirely banned over here in Massachusetts. Oh my God. That's it's pretty fucked up, dude. For 6 people dying in a year. Dude, it sounds like the cigarette lobby's got a strong hold over there. What up, Florida Stacker? Oh, what up, AJ? And he's just saying I'm fluffing Trump, and oh my God, Trump is the king of Israel. Oh boy. It's all the secret cabal of Jews just ruining Israel's life. Oh my God. So cucked out, dude. I just want the size of government reduced. God damn it. But Trump has to get off the back foot with all of these, blasphemous attacks on him. The horseshit Russia investigation and, the horseshit impeachment probe now. How dare you point out Hillary Clinton's crimes and beat her in an election? How dare you point out Joe Biden's crimes? Impeach him. Don't point out Democrats' crimes or you will be investigated and tried. think I'm going to switch over to the Natty Light here, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of the white supremacy cheddar there. This is delicious cheese. AJ says being black should be illegal. Well, I've thought a lot about this topic, and it's very complex, okay? I'm not saying being black shouldn't be illegal. I mean, if you're going to dunk on me, all right, I think it should be illegal. I mean, if you can jump higher than me, I think we should at least, redistribute some of these fast twitch muscles. All right, Burgess. We should at least redistribute some of these fast twitch muscles, okay? Can we get some redistribution? I mean, LeBron James, he's so greedy with his athleticism. He just wants to keep his athleticism, and it's very greedy. Where's my candidate that is going to take the fast twitch muscles from the NBA athletes and redistribute them, all right, to white boys with hoop dreams like me? I mean, we have an athletic inequality in this country, and it's unacceptable. Winterstorm says being obese should be illegal. Well, I would support that over the whole free healthcare horse shit. If your contention is you want me to pay for you being obese, my countermeasure would be, no, we're going to make being obese illegal. All right. How do you like that? What's up, Aaron Friedman? He says Nick blows whistles. Now that's very... See, I blow the whistle on the deep state criminals, but I don't get what you're insinuating there. Insinuating that I blow whistles. I'm not a referee. All right, I'm a steadfast truth teller. Okay, I could be considered a whistleblower against the criminals, but Oh yeah, the cheese blocks. They'll keep you satisfied, boy. Cheese blocks of beer. That's how you rock it. Tree says he's 5'8", 200 pounds and can dunk. Are you white? You must have got some of that redistribution of the fast twitch muscles, dude. Dave Krennic says high fructose corn syrup has killed more people than guns. There you go. There you go, dude. We need some fructose control in this country. But just like guns, high fructose is a tool. All right. If you want to engage in that high fructose behavior, post workout is the best time, dude. You get that glycogen replenished up back in your muscles, boy. You get pumped up. Oh yeah, carbon taxed on your body weight. I like that. I like that, dude. Your gut footprint. Your front butt footprint, dude. You need to be taxed for your front butt footprint. that you're making. It's very destructive to the goddamn economy, you know? Archer says, sorry for blowing up your chat with gun talk. Me and Dave have something in common and wanted to share a hobby talk. Well, yeah, go ahead, dude. I'm just, talking shit because it's a slow news day and I know nothing about guns. All right. And I, kind of wanted to get in on the discussion, and I kept reading comments, and I knew nothing about the comments. And so I just, I had a little temper tantrum, and it's fine, dude. But yeah, Raw Dog was talking about, I was thinking about, like, gas bills every month. But Raw Dog was talking about gas in SoCal earlier. Yeah, even the cheap gas stations are like $4 a gallon right now. It's really goddamn unbelievable. Robert Riddle says that he sounded a lot like me when he was 25, implying that I have an immature perspective on the world here, and it's very condescending. I know Robert Riddle came on the chat and he got his arguments dissembled. All right, and he didn't want. He apparently, still thinks he, has the superior outlook on the planet, even though he thinks the planet is flat. All right. If believing in flat Earth is some kind of progression, all right, it seems to, if I'm going to progress in that direction, I need to, get into boxing or something that's going to contribute to my CTE and my lack of critical thinking skills. I need to damage my brain more in order to evolve to the next level. All right, to be more paranoid about the Jewish conspiracy and, the round Earth propaganda. Winterstorm says, you a libertarian? Yes, sir. Libertarian anarchist. I'm not one of these, cucked out minarchist libertarians that don't carry their principles out to their fullest extent, dude. The principles are getting carried out. Blob City says, the funniest YouTube comments I've ever read was a guy who said he would take an IQ test against LeBron James. If he wins, he gets LeBron's money. If he loses, he gets beheaded. He was that confident. Well, what would LeBron have? There's no incentive for LeBron to take that money or take that bet. All right. Because, then why would LeBron want him to get beheaded? I would think, LeBron would get his wife or something like that. He gets to cuck him out on camera or something. I don't know. LeBron, there's not much you could tempt LeBron with. Aaron Freeman says, Nick Jordan 84, he is 35. No, I was not born in 84. I was born in 90. All right, but I did put 84 because, that was the only thing that wasn't already taken on the app that I made the name on. And I also really enjoyed Randy Moss, all right, back in my obsessive football watching days there. All right, big Randy Moss fan. I'm into that straight cash homie. Although my hairline is 35, my hairline is creeping toward 35. Dave Krennic says, Archer, do you have a Harbor Freight where you live? That's interesting. Harbor Freight reference there. My sister actually works at a Harbor Freight. All right. She's on that shelf stocking behavior. Bob said, he says Randy Moss was a boss 100%. Yeah, I wanted to see the Patriots go undefeated with Randy Moss, and they ran into the goddamn Eli Manning and the New York Giants defense buzzsaw. It's pretty interesting. My parents are moving to Tulsa, Oklahoma, it seems. All right, from my dad's job. My dad, right now he has to drive like 2 hours to and from work. And so they're picking up and moving. They live in this beautiful little, community around the Marlin Mansion there in Oklahoma. And, it's a nice little, cool little spot in my hometown. And now they're picking up and leaving. They've already sold the house pretty much, and they're moving quickly. All right, so they're moving to the big city there in Oklahoma. Aaron Freeman says, your sister weighs enough to Harbor Freight? Dad, come on. She's trying, all right, with the weight situation. All right, we're trying to encourage some, some weightlifting and, some responsible eating. All right, we're trying to encourage it. But yeah, they're moving to Tulsa, probably Sand Springs area, And hopefully it'll get my sister out of the house a little more. Get her some better friends. Yeah, Tulsa's a cool little city, dude. Aaron Freeman says, Nick, is your sister a good kisser? How dare you, sir? How dare you inquire as to, as if I would know? God damn it. All right, just because I shared a queen bed, all right, with my sister in a room with my family, just because the liberal Kansas after party was a goddamn disaster, full of orc women dancing on each other, just because I decided to, shack up with the family for the night. Everybody's implying that I had relations with my sister, and it's disgusting. Yeah, dude, Tulsa's a cool little city. Parents are moving up to the big city there. They made a good profit on their house there. Dude, there were orcs in liberal Kansas, all right? I expected there to be some, some big booty, attractive, at least Latina women there, and it was just, oh my God. These women, their shoulders were as wide as their booties, They had big old goddamn, they had big old fucking watermelon heads, It was a goddamn disaster. It looked like they were marching on Middle Earth, under command of Sauron. It was not the after party of the Outrage Chancellor Division, dude. But as we work our way up the stand-up comedy ladder, all right, the groupies shall improve. Tree says, dude, if your sister smoked meth, she would be 150 in no time. Oh my God. Maybe she could just eat low carb for a little bit, trying to keep the sodas out of her hand, dude. It's the sodas and the goddamn potato chips, and it's laying around the house in Punk City, Oklahoma. It's very boring. There's nothing to do, so she doesn't, procrastinates writing her screenplays and stories, by eating copious amounts of junk food and sipping down the high fructose corn syrup, and it's very sad. Raw Dog says, clean talking slayed them hog beasts. I don't know what he was engaged in, dude. I left. All right, I was tired of waiting on him talking to individuals that he knew there from a long time ago, the weirdo individuals. Dave Krennic says, so they look like bowling pins, LOL. They look like very, overly cooked, charcoal bowling pins, dude. Yes, that's why trees can dunk, is because, he's like a methed up alligator. All right, he's fully hopped up. Robert Rado says, sad to see your parents do that to your sister. Well, it's just they would rather just let her eat than have the argument. Because she gets very emotionally defensive, and resentful, and then just starts sneaking more and more food and going out to fast food restaurants and, just engaging in the, fatty behavior. And my dad, they all take cues from my dad. And my dad is a natural ectomorph. He just eats whatever the fuck he wants. And he has, 30 years of high intensity exercise in his past, riding his bike all the time. And so he just naturally is lean as hell now. And he can eat whatever the fuck he wants. And he drinks Coke with every one of his meals and everything. And still has abs. And so, my family just takes their cues from my pops. And they just pretty much eat what he's eating. And they don't have the exercise built up in their history. And so, oh my God, it's a disaster. Dirtweed says, when your sister suntans, does the neighborhood kids jump on her, mistaking her for a bouncy castle? How dare you? No, dude. It's very disrespectful, dude. Nobody's jumping on my sister. There's just not a lot to do in Punk City, Oklahoma, right? She doesn't have many friends around there, so, she makes friends with a bag of Doritos, and it's sad, dude. It's sad. Hopefully, she gets out and about a little more in Tulsa. All right. And gets inspired to go onward and upward. Aaron Freeman says, doesn't sound like your sister has your father's DNA. Well, your body gets trained into a certain type of lifestyle when you do it for 30 plus years. Because he would go out and ride his bike damn near every day for like an hour or 2 hours and ride it hard and long, boy. He would get out there and go fucking super long distance. He was like he was training for the goddamn Tour de France. Super into the goddamn bike riding. And my sister has never been into the sports or into the exercise very much at all. She's been pretty goddamn sedentary on the video games and on the TV and on the snack cakes. All right, so you train your body to a certain type of activity, and then you rebound on the habits there. Yeah, Dave Krennic's weight reduction there. It's he could write a weight loss diet book, but I don't think it would be very popular. Just get cancer, the weight will fly right off. Fuck, dude. Oh my God! It's the new fad diet. All right, getting cancer and eating squirrel stew. What video games does my sister play? Truthfully, I don't even know. I mean, I just think she browses the internet a lot. She watches a lot of movies. I don't know what the hell she does on the internet. I've tried to, consultate with her about being disciplined with the writing and everything. I don't know what's happening. She does have a video game system. I think she has, she has a PlayStation or she has a PlayStation of some kind. I don't even know if she plays that many video games anymore, but she's just on that sedentary activity. Robert Rydell says, if your sister had decent parents, she wouldn't be like that. Most likely it's your mom. Women are inherently evil. No! My parents are very nice people. All right, they just avoid confrontation until they let it boil over. And they have pretty common eating habits for Oklahoma people. All right, Oklahoma people, they put on the weight. All right, and they keep it on. All right, it's that culture of goddamn eating because you're bored. And they'd rather just not have the argument. All right, because my dad, he doesn't go to the gym. My mother and sister are looking for excuses to not go to the gym. All right, because they've been out of practice with it, and it just all, with the buildup of habit and continuing the customs, it just all happens. All right, later, Archer. Oh shit, Raw Dog's gonna go see the Rambo movie. There you go, buddy. I am definitely going to go see the Joker movie, and hopefully I won't get shot up in the movie theater here in Hollywood. Everybody's scared of the goddamn mass shooters going to the Joker movie and everything. I think it's going to be fine. Tree says she watches us make fun of her on the Outrage crew. Julie? Or my sister, I mean, she watches sometimes, but, she knows I love her and I want the best for her. And she's starting to enjoy working out, because she sees me, oh, what up, front hole? She sees me work out and then eat ridiculous amounts of calories and not gain an ounce of fat. And I think it inspires her when I go home, It's just all about getting in the goddamn habitual practice of it and then sustaining. And I'm not saying my parents have no responsibility for Julie, getting overweight, but she was not massively overweight, before she got in her 20s. I mean, it's pretty much been of her own volition. She hasn't, moved out of the house. She's like 25. She hasn't moved out of the house. She still lives with my parents. She's like 25. She does have a job now. But when she was 17 and 18, like after my parents had fully done their job raising her and everything, yeah, the eating habits weren't the best, but they weren't the worst either. We weren't eating bullshit. My mother is a damn good cook. She can put together a halfway healthy meal. And hasn't, the weight hasn't gotten out of control until she's gotten in her 20s and stagnated and not gotten a job and not moved out of the house. And she has, her only friends in Ponca City are, stagnant individuals who aren't doing shit in their own life either. And so it's kind of been of her own choice. Like once you're 18 and like once you're in your 20s and you're still living at home, it's like how much responsibility do your parents bore for, letting you get overweight? Aaron Freeman says, why is the media pushing this idea of a mass shooter at a movie that hasn't come out yet? Well, it's just based on the trailer, I think, and also, the Joker character is it's kind of the story of a psychopathic incel that becomes very violent. And so I think that's what they're hinting at, that, the incels will be drawn to that narrative and want to act it out in real life. And it's very gay. All right, I will be going to the movie theater, and hopefully the Outrage Chancellor will not be shot up. All right. Robert Riddle says, no, it's not her. It's your mother and your father. Well, how much responsibility do your parents hold for your decisions in your 20s, dude? They've already raised you. After that, it's like, are we really going to police your behavior? Fernhold says she smokes pot, doesn't she? No, she doesn't. She just does a little light boozing. That's about it. Tree says she needs to drink more water. That's for sure. She does not drink much water. It's a lot of soda. Florida Stacker says, because that shooter did it at the last Batman movie. Well, that was unforeseen. I don't think it's the Batman connection. I think that the Joker is an incel. And that he's a psychopathic, super violent incel. And, a little connection there. Aaron Freeman says Burgess has some room in his basement for your sister. Well, I just think when she gets out on her own, lifestyle and starts living by herself, she's going to take some more personal responsibility for her own existence. You get wrapped up in a certain lifestyle when, your parents are buying all the groceries and the fridge is fully stocked and you have a bunch of chips and snacks all around and you're sitting around in the house in the middle of the day and, you just are bored and nothing's going on and it's small town Oklahoma and you're like, fuck it, I'm going to eat a whole bag of chips, Denise says, hey, I asked a guy who popped into a live stream from the Ukraine. I wanted it confirmed that the Ukraine president is a comedian. Yeah, he was a former comedian who was on a TV show that became very popular and then ran for president. All right, the Outrage Chancellor is going to do the same thing if Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez eventually works her way up to running for president, because we're probably going to have an economic crisis before then, and, I don't want the narrative to tilt over to socialism. All right, and, me and AOC are the same age, so if she turns 35 and decides to run for president, the Outrage Chancellor is going to throw his hat in the ring and save Western civilization politically if I need to. Rodog says, can she make meatloaf? My sister? I don't think so. My mom can make a badass meatloaf. All right. Aaron Freeman says Ukraine president starred in a TV show about a comedian who became president. Yeah. Very weird. Robert Riddle says, blame the child all you want, Nick. You'll see. Well, you're not a child after you're 20 years old, dude. That's what I'm saying. She didn't become massively overweight until, deep into her 20s. Blob City says, you can tell the new Joker movie is based already. It's going to be really good. It's going to be really good. Joaquin Phoenix is no fucking joke. And it looks like the production value is all, very well done and everything. It's going to be good. Florida Sector says, is this your new time or were you just bored early? Well, I got home a little bit early from Postmates, and I did have a booty call lined up for tonight, but it seems like that's off the rails. I might even stream later tonight. It's undecided. All right, I thought I was going to get some horizontal dancing later tonight, so I didn't do the stream tonight. But we'll see what happens. I think I'm going to wrap this one up right here. Because I'm out of beers, I'm out of coffee. All right, I'm gonna get ready for the fourth wall show here. And we're gonna go rock it on stage, and then I'll come back and see what happens. We might have the horizontal dancing. We might have another stream. You never know, dude. But I am annoyed with the lack of news, and I might go to the gym. I need to go to the gym tonight. I need to get pumped up for Western Civilization. I need to, get some work in on the goddamn chin-up bar and the dip bar there. So we'll see what happens tonight. But most likely tomorrow. I don't know if I'll do a midday stream. Probably another late night stream tomorrow. All right, hit that like button if you like it, ladies and gentlemen. If you would like to donate to the Western Civilization Defense Fund, paypal.me/Outrage TV. All right, the Venmo donation, Nick Jordan 84 is the name on Venmo if you'd like to donate to me. Much appreciated. We got to make up some ground on the rent monies here. All right, we're striving. We're getting out there on Postmates. We're trying to, scrabble and scramble our way to that rent threshold. We're getting there slowly and surely. All right, any contributions are much appreciated, ladies and gentlemen. I love all the Outrage crew. All right, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to talk about on stage tonight, but I'll probably just riff it. And, I've been having good sets lately. And so we're in a pretty good momentum right now. We're going to keep it rocking. All right, I shall post the podcast, the full podcast audio, and all the podcast apps for your listening pleasures. I love all you bad motherfuckers out here on the Outrage Battleship. Peace out, you ravenous bigots. Until next time.